So, hi and welcome back. And yeah, if you've reached here because of the video card about saying teaching grandma to suck eggs, it's a saying we used to use years ago. And the actual no granny was harmed in making this video. It's basically an AI. So if your granny looks like it, then I'm sorry, but it was done by an AI. And I said grandma sucking an egg, and that's what you got. So anyway, so why this video? And you saw the picture of the Velvier. Basically, when I received the flat image, I actually put it through a process to make it look like a Velvier shot. But it's kind of, you know, when things come around, and that's what's happened with this video. So back in the day, I used to be like, you know, I used to be the lad, I used to have the camera, and I remember working with this old guy called Basil, and he was a miserable git. He's passed away years ago, but anyway, he was miserable. And what happened was, I said to him, I was telling him about photography. You don't know as much as I do about photography. And I got that very arrogant, young way about me, saying and telling him what I knew. I still don't know anything at all. I just enjoy it, you know. And it's seeing a lot of the younger film photographers, you know, talking, almost being condescending down to older people, like I was back then. Say, you know, about how much knowledge they've got and how much they do, and you know, it's wonderful that they're there because of the fact that we now, if it wasn't for them now, we wouldn't have film photography. It would have been gone. So it would have been a complete and utter end to it. So we've got to be thankful for that. And the fact that, you know, they talk as if it's their world, and you know, it was the norm for us. So I just wanted to do this little video just saying that. But what I've done is I've resurrected an old video from about 5 years ago. It's going to be really low quality, but it's just about me taking some of my earliest photographs on film. And it kind of got lost in the mist of time. So you're going to see that now. It only runs for about 4 or 5 minutes, I think. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video.
The plan was to do a video every day, but I've kind of lapsed already, but I am still doing them. And this is just a few of my old photographs taken from many years ago. And this is actually me on the left-hand side here, when I think this was 1986. I'm guessing. I didn't take this photograph, obviously. It was taken by my friend Mark, my friend Neil, and this was in my old flat. So I just want to go through just a few shots that I've scanned in. I've got like a film scanner. It isn't really any good, but I just wanted to show you some of the photographs I've taken over the years. And it's really sad because I threw so many negatives and slides away in the past, you know, 20 years or so. Okay. This one was taken on a photo shoot in London. The original one was actually a square. It was actually taken on a medium format camera. And this is actually a copy of a print. And then I've scanned the negative to make this version of it. Okay, I just wanted to show you a difference between two photographs. And this is the original one I scanned. I think this is the first ever slide film that I took. I would have probably been about 17 at the time. I just got into photography and just learned about slide film. And this is my friend's family's son, friends. It was someone who's staying with us. His name's Denzel, and I took this shot of him outside. I thought I could improve it. So what I did was I don't use Photoshop. I use software called Affinity Photo. And you'll see the next one is where I've changed it. So I'm really quite pleased. It's a little bit darker, but it shows his skin a lot better, and it just looks a whole lot better. I've cleaned some of the actual background up as well on this one. This photograph was taken on a Canon 50E, and it was a Cosina 18 to 35mm zoom lens, if I remember correctly. I was using Agrippan 25 ASA film with a red filter, so the exposure was about something like a 60th of a second. It was really difficult to take a shot like this. But yeah, this is one that I took. As I say, this is more the newer stuff and not the stuff from the early 90s. I got into infrared in a big time, and this one is just a shot. It's a little place by the river, and this was taken with, I believe it was a Konica 750nm infrared film, and I think the film speed was about 50 ASA or something like that. It was really quite low in comparison to what the Kodak infrared film is. And this was just a shot I took, and I quite like this one. This is one of the ones one of the negatives I managed to save. I would probably say this is my first ever portrait shot. Now, it's really, really damaged and really beaten up. And what happened was, this was before I started to do my own developing and printing. I took it into the shop and it come back like this. They completely and utterly wrecked the film. So I think I was probably about 17, 18 when I took this shot. And this was another shot on the reel, and there's him on the left and a lad called Sean on the right hand side. And this is where I used to live in Kempston many years ago, and there was an underpass there. It's now all been filled in and there's actually a crossing there, but this is what the sort of style of shot I was into when I was about 17 years old. This is another infrared film. I think, don't quote me, this is Ilford SFX film. It's a high red film, and you have it's sensitive to the red spectrum like infrared film, but it isn't infrared film. I believe I just had a red filter on it. I just literally took a snapshot, got it home, processed it, and it came up with the most amazing spring whites on the trees of the flowers. This was taken, I think, I think in about 97, 98 time, and it was just a portrait I was asked to do of my friend's little boy called Ben. I believe he now works in banking, from what I can remember, what I found out about him. But as I say, I really liked this shot. It was just a really dull and miserable day. It was raining, and we'd pre-arranged to do this photo shoot, and we just didn't cancel. We just went out in the rain. As you can see on the pole, you can see all the water droplets on the pole on this right hand side here. This one is a photograph of a print, and my friend Sarah's daughter, I can't remember her name now, but she was modelling for I was doing a photo shoot for a magazine, and this was one of the photographs that they actually used in the magazine. It's not a good quality copy because the fact it's a copy of a print, and as I say, it's just another scan of a negative of a copy of a print. So it hasn't really come up very well at all, but it gives you an idea of the sort of thing I was going for this particular shoot. And I still don't have the magazine that it was in, and that was back in 1991. How on earth I got this shot, I will never know. I was just in the local shop, and I had my camera. I was trying to get a photograph of her anyway, and then she went to pick up these cans of Pepsi, and she was just about to spill them all over the floor, and I thought, just grab this shot just as she was doing this. So I'm really, really pleased with it. You're beginning to tell now I love my infrared. This was taken just near a place called Houghton House, just outside Ampthill, and I went there with my friend Christina and Stuart, and I was experimenting with infrared film because you don't know what the exposure is. You don't know how much infrared light there is in that's being reflected off objects. So you have to, what you call, bracket your exposure. So I exposed this at different f-stops to get what I thought would be right. And I think it was the middle one, the actual one that I took in the middle of the bracket was this one. And I'm just really, really pleased with it. It's just got such amazing blacks and whites and greys and stuff, you know. This is for before the days of Photoshop. So you can see here, there's a picture of an eye. Now this eye is this boy's younger brother. This was taken a year later than this photograph. So what I did was, I had this strange idea of this eye looking at him, because this was just all white, this area here. So what I did was, I actually then cut this out, like so, and then got this shot of his eye and used this part as a mask. So it's actually one print, but it's just been masked out rather than it's not been cut out and then put on top and then photographed again. It's actually one photograph. But to give you an idea, this was shot on a Bronica ETRS, the original shots were. This was on the same photo shoot as the other shot of the boy on the right hand side. This is Danny and Joe. We recently went and found where this was shot. I'd not been there since we took this in the early 90s and found the place again. And these were both child models from, I think it was Truly Scrumptious Modelling Agency. They've been given to us to do this photo shoot that I've been booked to do. So, and yeah, it was a really nice summer's day. And they also had their little cousin as well that was along with the shoot as well. It was just a really, really nice time. This would have been on the same roll of film as the one of the boy at the start where I changed the colours. because this was shot on Kodachrome 64, I believe. And it was one of the it's the first time I think I'd ever used slide film, and my dad said to me, "Go and get some Kodachrome, boy." So that's what I did, and this is a result of literally just shooting down. It was a set of tennis courts, and I was just shooting down towards some houses. And when I first scanned this in, I suddenly realised it was the wrong way around, because I could tell where the houses were on the right hand side, on that corner. This was and I believe it's obviously an army outfit, and it was given to me or lent to me by my mum, and it was hanging in my corridor of my old flat, and the light was shining. It was just really, really amazing. So I took this shot, and obviously this is a scan from a slide. My slide scanner isn't brilliant, but I've done a little bit of work on it in Affinity Photo, because I don't use Photoshop. So I thought I'd just try and do a little bit of editing, and it's come up really, really well. Anyway, that's it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all the things you do with that. Anyway, speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.